Hi, my name is Yazan Ibrahim, also known as Yazan Abu Ghosh. Today we will talk about Chapter 2, Part A, IT Governance 2.3 IT Standards, Policies and Procedures. Let's dive into the world of IT standards, policies, procedures, and guidelines. A world that might seem dry at first glance, but is actually what breathes order and purpose into the fast-paced, chaotic environment of technology-driven organizations. Imagine this as the foundation of a sturdy skyscraper, the unseen but essential framework that holds everything together and ensures it reaches upwards safely and confidently. Without this framework, the structure would wobble the moment pressure mounts, much like unstable IT systems under new challenges. A common language for clarity. In the realm of IT governance, there's often confusion because terms like policies, standards, procedures, and guidelines sometimes seem interchangeable, but they're not. Each one plays a unique role in the hierarchy of organizational control. Think of it as a symphony orchestra. Policies are the composer's vision that provides the overarching idea. Standards are the conductor's guide to bringing that vision to life with precision. Procedures are the individual instrumentalists following the sheet music and guidelines. Well, they're like practice tips to help musicians refine their technique. Together they form a harmonious whole, driving an organization's IT governance and security framework. Standards, the backbone of consistency standards, are where precision takes the spotlight. They are the mandatory requirements, the non-negotiable rules that come from respected, recognized organizations. Imagine a new car rolling out of a factory assembly line. It meets specific standards for safety, emissions, and efficiency, standards set by global agencies. These aren't optional, they ensure the car is safe to drive and reliable for years to come. Similarly, in IT, standards ensure consistency, reliability, and trust. They're like the guardrails on a mountainous highway, ensuring an organization doesn't veer off course into unpredictability. Professional standards, such as those developed by organizations like ISACA, not only ensure compliance but also keep professionals aligned with best practices. For businesses, adhering to these standards is paramount. In a technology landscape that evolves at breakneck speed, strong and updated standards are the difference between leading the charge and falling behind. Standards are what instill trust in customers, clients, and stakeholders. They ensure products and services are as reliable as promised. Policies, the constitution of direction. Now step up a level. If standards are the backbone, policies are the brain, setting the tone and directing how the entire body operates. Policies represent management's intent, their expectations, and their commitment to certain goals. Think of a policy as a constitution, a guiding document that provides structure and alignment to an organization's practices. It's broad in scope, unyielding in intent, yet flexible enough to allow organizational departments the freedom to fill in the details. A good policy, like a constitution, is timeless. It doesn't need to be rewritten every time the environment changes. Take a high-level access control policy as an example. Information resources shall be controlled in a manner that effectively precludes unauthorized access. That single statement sets the stage for creating detailed security measures, ensuring compliance and managing risk, while simultaneously allowing flexibility in how those measures are implemented. Policies cascade through every layer of an organization. While corporate level policies establish the overarching rules, individual departments craft local policies tailored to specific contexts. But these localized rules are never in isolation. They flow from the corporate vision, ensuring neither contradictions nor redundancies. Policies don't age like fine wine, though. They need reviewing, aligning with new regulations, emerging technologies, or innovative business practices. A policy tied to yesterday's software vulnerabilities may leave today's cloud-based systems exposed. Strategic recalibration ensures policies remain relevant while still aligned with long-term organizational objectives. Information security policy is the shield of an organization. Let's zoom in on one specialized policy domain, information security. In today's hyper-connected world, data has become as valuable as gold, if not more. Protecting that data requires a robust information security policy, a framework that sets the rules for safeguarding critical information. Creating such policies goes beyond mere risk aversion. It involves aligning security with productivity, balancing cost with benefits, and weaving security into the organizational culture. After all, overly stringent controls might choke innovation, while lax policies invite breaches. The goal, to build a shield that's sturdy without being burdensome. What makes a good information security policy? It starts with clear intent.
A commitment from management to safeguarding assets and aligning with key benchmarks like ISO IEC 27001. The policy outlines the roles and responsibilities of employees, requirements for compliance, regulatory or otherwise, and the penalties for violations. It also delves into details like acceptable use, what's okay, what's off limits, access controls, training needs, and business continuity planning. Employees, contractors, and third-party vendors must all be brought into this fold. They need to not just sign off on these policies, but also understand them deeply, because let's face it, a rule book without procedures, turning rules into action. If policies provide the what and standards establish the how, procedures are the actual steps, the manual for bringing these visions to life. Procedures are like a guided assembly process, clearly documented, step-by-step instructions designed to achieve the desired outcome. They offer employees clarity, consistency, and efficiency. For example, consider a company implementing a new password policy. The policy states the intent: long passwords changed regularly, stored securely. But without procedures, employees might be left unsure how to update their passwords or what specific tools to use. Procedures translate the policy's goals into actionable steps. To remain effective, procedures must evolve alongside the changing environment. A procedure written 5 years ago for on-premise systems may now need rewriting to reflect cloud storage practices. A procedure that doesn't reflect day-to-day realities is like giving a worker a manual for assembling a model they'll never use. It serves no one. Guidelines, the subtle art of execution. Finally, guidelines provide the nuance. They're not strict rules like policies, nor are they actionable steps like procedures. Instead, they're the helpful tips and clarifications that make following the rules easier. Think of them as notes in the margins of a complex diagram, pointing out pitfalls, clarifying ambiguities, and offering advice. Guidelines often supplement procedures by offering context or best practices. Let's return to the example of creating strong passwords. A guideline might suggest using phrases instead of arbitrary strings of characters, or recommend password management software to reduce the burden on employees. It provides the why behind the instructions, encouraging better compliance and empowering users to act wisely. The symphony of governance. When policies, standards, procedures, and guidelines work in harmony, they create a robust governance framework, one built for resilience, adaptability, and trust. Each layer builds upon the previous one to translate abstract organizational goals into measurable, actionable outcomes. They empower organizations to tackle today's uncertainties while preparing for what lies ahead. Yet, here's the catch: governance isn't static. Policies need reviews, standards evolve, procedures adapt to new technologies, and guidelines update in line with fresh insights. Effective IT governance is a living, breathing process, sustained by ongoing commitment, vigilance, and collaboration. And so, as we close this exploration, think back to that skyscraper analogy. The next time you admire a towering structure, remember, it's not just concrete and steel, it's the unseen order, the unyielding framework, and the countless meticulous details that make the impossible not just possible but reliable. In IT, as in architecture, the invisible forces of governance are what hold everything together. Thank you for watching, and as always, continue learning. Stay curious, and we'll see you next video.